Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and like and subscribe to find your lost jewelry next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Smeagol, a kindly hobbit who likes to go fishing with his friends and just found a neat little ring in the water. I'm writing this script as I watch Lord of the Rings for the first time. I'm excited to see what happens next. Oh no.
Things get damaged, things get broken.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need to be creepy. You follow the Fellowship for the majority of the first book and nobody does anything about it. Next, we need to bring the pain quickly. You're not the biggest guy in the fight, but if you get the drop on someone, you're going to be able to beat them pretty easily. Finally, we need to make sure caves are a special place where nobody's going to bother us. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just watch your dexterity and wisdom modifiers. Dexterity will be number 1, you're a creepy little creep, so we need to be a sneaky little sneaker. Wisdom next, you survived way longer than you were supposed to. That might be ring magic, or maybe you've got very high survival skills. Constitution after that, this would be the other piece of the longevity puzzle. You can't die until you get that ring back. Follow it up with strength, you're pretty good at climbing stuff considering your rather bony physique. Intelligence is a bit low. You know the ring, you know virtually nothing else about Middle Earth, and we'll dump charisma. You're ugly, scrawny, and speak by squeaking and squawking. Not exactly a prime candidate for the next bachelor. Gollum was a hobbit. I'm gonna say he used to be a little thicker and make him a stout halfling. You get +2 dexterity and +1 constitution, which is the real reason I chose stout, and that stout resilience gives you resistance to poison damage, and you have advantage on saves against being poisoned. You aren't famous for cooking your meat, preferring it raw and wriggling. Halflings are all lucky to reroll 1s on d20 rolls, making you a little more consistent when you're creeping. Halflings also have to be brave, giving you advantage on saving throws against being frightened. It's not like Frodo was gonna scare you anyway. For your background, we'll go with charlatan for sleight of hand and deception skills, not to mention an alternate identity. I think you're supposed to use it on cops, but it could also be a great way to keep yourself company. Not a great way, just, a way. We'll kick things off as a rogue for 4 skills from the rogue list, like athletics, acrobatics, investigation, and stealth, to skulk around in caves and find things you've been missing. You get expertise in 2 of those skills, doubling your proficiency bonus. Stealth and acrobatics are nice since you prefer not to get caught by goblins or orcs and need to get out of their grapples when they do catch you. You also get sneak attack, letting you add a d6 of damage to a weapon attack when you make it with advantage or have an ally within 5 feet of the target. You have to be using a finesse or a ranged weapon. A dagger would be in character, and by the end of this, the fact that it's a d4 is not going to be a big deal. Second level rogues get cunning action, letting you dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. Just because you have advantage on saves against being frightened doesn't mean you can't run away like a coward every now and then. Third level rogues can choose a roguish archetype. Scouts are really good at kicking it on their own. You get survival and nature skills for free. You even get expertise with them as well. Catching fish isn't easy. Well, it isn't with your bare hands, unless you're a bear and have bare hands. As a skirmisher, you can also move half of your movement speed as a reaction when someone ends their turn within 5 feet of you, and don't provoke opportunity attacks while doing that, so you won't be the fish being bashed against a rock. Your sneak attack also bumps up to 2d6 here. 4th level rogues get an ability score improvement. Get your dexterity up higher. It's pretty much your main stat you're using. It's not like Gollum is a spellcaster. To make Gollum a spellcaster, we're going to jump over to Ranger, giving you a free skill of your choice from the Ranger list, like Perception. You also get Favored Enemy, picking a type of creature to be good at tracking. Orcs and goblins are probably a good option for you. They kind of creep around your cave a lot. You also get Canny for expertise in another skill, like Perception, so that you can see in the darkest of caves. Second level Rangers get a fighting style. Dueling adds 2 to the damage of an attack you make one-handed, making your dagger a little more consistent. Of course, we're really looking for spells for the Master Spellcaster Gollum. Jump and Longstrider are only available for the finest of casters, tripling your jump distance and boosting your movement speed by 10 feet per round, respectively. So now you can be a little faster than the tall folks. Third level Rangers can choose a Conclave. Gloomstalkers are sad weirdos who hang out in the dark. First, you get Umbral Sight for 60 feet of dark vision, and you're invisible to creatures who rely on dark vision to see you. Basically meaning if goblins wander into your section of the cave, Goblin is on the menu. You're also a Dread Ambusher, letting you add your wisdom modifier to your initiative rolls. You move 10 feet faster in the first round of combat and can make 2 attacks in the first round as your action, and one of those attacks deals an extra d8 of damage. Sneak attack only pops on one of those attacks, but that's still going to help you hack away like a tiny cave-dwelling psychopath, because you're a tiny cave-dwelling psychopath. 4th level Rangers get an ability score improvement, cap off your dexterity modifier, then move on to wisdom for better cooking skills. Or I guess you make sushi, that's even more skill. 5th level Rangers get an extra attack, letting you attack twice with your action instead of once, even if you can only use your sneak attack for 1 round. Your Hunter's Mark pops on every attack. Oh, Hunter's Mark, that's a spell that gives you advantage on checks to track one creature, and you can add a d6 of damage to them with your attacks. We actually could have grabbed it earlier, but I forgot because the script is old and it used the revised Ranger that was in the class feature variants on Earth Arcana, and then that all got changed in Tasha's. So take Hunter's Mark now, or take it earlier. So now we're good at killing people, but we're still pretty easy to kill. To get harder to kill, it's time for a 3rd multi-class and 1 level of Monk. That will give you martial arts to deal 1d4 plus your dexterity modifier in bludgeoning damage with your unarmed attacks, and you can make an unarmed attack as a bonus action after you attack with your action. You can't make a sneak attack with your unarmed attacks because even though they fit the definition of finesse, they're still not officially finesse. But they are still weapon attacks for Hunter's Mark, even though they don't use a weapon. It's weird. We're really here for unarmored defense. Making your AC 10 plus your dexterity and wisdom modifier when you're just rocking the loincloth. It's a confident look for sure, but it could be a weird thing to wear to a wedding or a funeral. And now we're bumping back to Rogue. 5th level rogues get uncanny dodge, letting you take half damage as a reaction as long as you can see the source of damage. Hopefully, you're not after some hobbit with an invisibility ring. That would be really inconvenient. Your sneak attack also bumps up to 3d6. 6th level rogues get expertise in 2 more skills. Athletics and sleight of hand are pretty fun, basically giving you weird barbarian levels of strength and tiny enough fingers to slip out of shackles when you get caught. Not that you're ever going to get caught. 7th level rogues get evasion, meaning you take half damage from failed dexterity saves and no damage from successful ones. It won't help you if you're sinking into lava, but should help in lots of other fiery situations. Your sneak attack bumps up to 4d6 here as well. 8th level rogues get another ability score improvement to feat. The observant feat adds 1 to your wisdom score, but plus 5 to your passive perception and investigation skill, which means that you'll be dropping on others, but they won't be dropping in on you. 9th level scout rogues get superior mobility, adding 10 feet of extra movement speed to your movement, so that's 40 after you use Longstrider. It's almost like we took more monk levels. Your sneak attack bumps up to 5d6 here as well. 10th level rogues get another ability score improvement. More wisdom will make you harder to catch, and even better at seeing in the dark. 11th level rogues get reliable talent, meaning the lowest you can roll on a skill you're proficient with is 10. Then you get to add all your modifiers. You're proficient with almost half the skills in the game. You've got expertise with 6 of them, so even though you're a weirdo, you'll be an asset to any squad, especially with 6d6 sneak attack damage. 12th level rogues get another ability score improvement, so you can cap off your wisdom modifier for a maximum survival skill and plus 10 initiative rolls, which will get better next level. 13th level scouts get ambush master, giving you advantage on initiative rolls and advantage against the first creature you attack on the first round of combat. Your allies get that too, but I'm more interested in 7d6 sneak attack damage guaranteed. We're going to talk more about that soon. Our capstone is the 14th level of rogue for blind sense, meaning you know the location of any invisible creature within 10 feet of you. Unfortunately, you didn't have this when you met Bilbo, but you got it just in time for the nephew. Now that we hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you're an amazing ambusher with 11d6 plus 4d4 plus 1d8 plus 26 damage in the first round of combat if you've already got Hunter's Mark up. You're also great at getting in close to deal that damage with big movement speed. Finally, you're deceptively bulky with 20 AC making you hard to hit and uncanny dodge to reduce damage coming in, meaning your mediocre HP will go much further than it normally would. For weaknesses, you don't have any magical damage, so it's a good thing you're only going after humanoids. You're also ugly and bad at talking. So is Gollum, so unless you're lying to people, you're not going to do well socially. Finally, the multiclassing made us miss out on the scout's final ability, which would have let us use our sneak attack damage twice per turn to take out 2 hobbits at the same time. But once you got the ring back, you don't have to worry about the same time. Dive in, stab it up, then dive out. Just remember how happy you were before you turned into a ring-obsessed gremlin. Maybe make that your new SME goal. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.